Okay, I think we're rolling. Hi, everyone. Today is Sunday, February 21st, 2021. My name is Sarah, and welcome to the Common Fiber podcast. It's been a week since I last filmed. So many things have happened. It hasn't even been a week. It's only been 6 days. I filmed on Monday. I forgot about that. But so many wonderful things have happened this week. And so I'm excited to chat with you guys a little bit about kind of what happened this week in my life, all of our different shenanigans. I do have obviously an FO to talk about. I kind of have two in a way. I do have some works in progress to talk to you about as well. So I'm super excited. It is 8 o'clock at night. I typically don't film at 8 o'clock at night. Normally I film in the morning, but I just had, let's just talk about life things. I had a coffee date this morning with one of my dear friends, and we met up because in Washington we moved across the board into phase 2 last weekend, and that means that you can go to restaurants and eat in a restaurant or have coffee. Sports opened up. I mean, granted, they have stipulations, right? So still only at 25% capacity, but it was so good. It felt so normal to get to go have coffee. So we sat in there for 2 hours, 2+ hours, and enjoyed coffee this morning, and it was fantastic. My husband and I went on our very first date in over a year, and we did that last night. We went to the country club here, and we had dinner, and it was amazing, and we also stayed there. Our reservations were at 8 p.m., and they closed at 10, and we left about 10 minutes to 10. We just enjoyed every minute. So those things happened. Gosh. What else happened? I'll think of it. I should have taken notes. I didn't take notes. Oh, I should tell you what I'm drinking. I'm drinking some tea, Good Earth tea, and it's the Bigelow. Yeah, Bigelow Earl Grey tea. It's like one of my favorite teas. This one is caffeinated. I'm probably going to kick myself for that later on. But that's okay. I didn't have any decaf that I wanted, and I've been tired all day, and I think it's because we did go out on a date last night, and we haven't been doing things like that, so it was just a lot. So I'm like on cup number 3 of tea, plus I had coffee this morning. I don't know. Anyways, so it was wonderful. We had a wonderful week. Thank you to everybody last podcast. Just talking, it was so encouraging about my daughter getting to cheer and us not getting to be there. I did want to let you all know her coach did take 1 million pictures and small video clips and posted them and sent them to us. And so we still got to be a part. And then the school district actually you had to buy tickets, right? It's a virtual ticket. They were $5. It's no different than if you were to go to the game itself, but they live broadcasted it. So we got to watch our kids just do what they love doing. And it was a very emotional day, truthfully. Like, I was like crying happy tears because, you just want to see them doing what they love. And all of them, every single athlete out there was just so happy. They didn't care that they were spaced 6 feet apart. They didn't care that they were wearing masks the entire time. The volleyball, players were just incredible. They won. Our school team won. But it was such a good game. So anyways, that happened. That was pretty exciting. And then my middle kiddo, we had her sports physical this week and well child checkup, and she had to get shots. So that was eventful because she hates shots. Hates them so much. She did not scream this time though, so progress. Yeah, and then just so good. Such a good week. And so, yeah, I guess we should just jump into the knitting content, right? I'm sure that's what most of you are here for. So let's talk about it. This is my first FO. I am so happy about it. This is the Felix pullover, and it is by Amy Christoffers. It is such an amazing knit. So great. I did knit the sleeves longer than I thought I would. And I'm so happy I did. I love how they kind of bell a little bit. They're just so cozy and comfortable, and I think it looks cute. And this sweater just fits so well. It's flattering, I think, for all sizes. I did not knit the largest size. I knit almost the largest size. I think 2 down from it, and I used a smaller needle. So I got the gauge that I wanted, and I just worked it out, and it turned out perfect. I knit it out of Lopi. There we are. And this yarn is an Icelandic wool, 100% Icelandic wool, and each of these balls is 50 grams. Cooper, leave Stella be. I'm sorry. They're wound up like an 8-day clock. So this has been going on, puppy wrestling going on in the living room. Oh my gosh. So anyways, 50-gram balls, and I bought too many of them, actually. I miscalculated how much yarn I actually needed, and I have 2.5 balls of yarn left, but it's super cheap, right? Like, we talked about that. Like, it's probably $6 or so a skein, but I have plans for the leftovers, so it's fine. Actually, I'm like super excited about my plans for the leftovers. Anyways, back to the sweater. If you have not knit this sweater, I feel like this is going to be an incredible sweater. I actually really want it in different yarns. Like, I have it in this gray in the Lopi, and it's a super rustic woolen spun. Pretty sure this is woolen spun. I'm gonna say it's woolen spun. Whatever. I can't find it on the label, but I think it's woolen spun. And so I have it in this. I would love to have it in like a drapier fabric too. I might be knitting this again. I do truly see a few of these in my future. I want to knit the cardigan as well. Oh my gosh, the cardigan just looks awesome. So, yeah, I have nothing terrible to say about this sweater. Not that you were here for anything terrible, but I have nothing but good things to say. If you haven't knit it, just try it. Amazing pattern, so well written. I love the detail in the raglan, the lace. I love every single stinking thing about it. So that was my first FO. I finished this Thursday. I literally knocked it out Thursday. Because I ended up having to take off work on Thursday because Caitlin was having a little bit of a reaction to her vaccinations. And she's my kiddo who kind of always does, so I always try and keep an eye on her. But she was having just some nausea, really bad stomach pains, which were typical symptoms. I just needed to make sure that they didn't progress. So I stayed home. I finished this sweater, and I've already gotten some usage out of it. So went for a walk, and we have these trails kind of close to our house. So the kids and I went for a walk this weekend, and it was lovely. It was freezing. I mean, I wasn't freezing. The kids had on all of their snow gear and their sweaters and stuff too, but it was perfect. So I got this done. The next finished object is I finished one of my socks. Guys, I figured out the name of this yarn. This is Yarnique. And this is the taffy colorway. It's beautiful. It looks just like saltwater taffy. I almost dipped this in my tea. That would have been really bad. I would have been super bummed out. Move that. So I got one done. And then I balled up the remaining cake, and I have gotten a little bit done on the second one. So these will be done this week, which I'm really excited about. They're my standard sock, cuff down, 2.0 millimeter, Knitter's Pride Carbons is what I use. I'm 20 for the cuff, 60 for the leg, typical drop heel, and then 60 for the foot, and then toe as normal. I love it. This is the 75-25 blend. I talked about that last week. It's kind of one of my favorite sock blends right now to work with to do socks. But it's the last one that I had caked up. All of the other cakes that I have right now previously caked up are in the 80-20. So it's going to be a little while before I get to work on some 75-25 after this pair is done. But that's okay. I'm working through my, 12 skeins, or, well, I did more than 12, but my 12 skeins of stash yarn for socks this year. I don't know what pair this makes. You know what? I want to say that I will try and pull them all out. And show you next podcast. Maybe I'll try and do that. I did pull out the skein that I wanted to work on next. It's this beautiful skein. This is the skein of yarn that I dyed forever ago, and this is the lace dyed eggs on the 80-20 blend. And so I'm really excited to work with this. I feel like it's perfect for March, St. Patty's Day. It'll be super fun. So that is coming up next. And I just love those little pops of that bright grass green in this color. I think it'll be a super fun semi-solid pair of socks. So I'm excited about that. Whew. I feel like I'm talking fast. And I think I am. I'm trying to get through this without way too many interruptions this go round. Last podcast I ended up having to splice because my dad kept texting me, and I don't want to do a bunch of splicing this time. I'm not very tech savvy, and so it doesn't look good. It never looks good. So Okay. Right after I bound off this sweater and realized I had so much extra yarn, I decided that I wanted to make use of it pretty right away. Not to let it just linger in my stash for way too long, or at least most of it. So I went ahead and just cast onto the brim of a hat. I'm not knitting this hat for me. I'm knitting it on Hiya Sharps US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter needle. Just these little 16-inch ones. And right now I have just some 2x2 twisted ribbing going. I'm not following a pattern, per se. I cast on 104 stitches. I think that'll be good enough for my dad. He is constantly complaining about how cold he is, and I made him a couple scarves. I actually crocheted like the half linen stitch kind of look, crocheted scarves a couple times, and they're blue and gray, and so this gray will match perfectly. And while it is a rustic yarn, the scarves that I did for him are also a super rustic yarn, and he does not seem to be bothered by that at all, and it's around his neck, so I think for a hat it'll be okay also. If not, I can just line it. But I haven't decided past this, like if I'm gonna move to stockinette stitch or if I just want to do the whole thing in this twisted rib and just do some fun decreases or something at the end. I'll figure it out. I don't know. I've got to make a decision. I am going to go up a needle size, regardless of what I do. I'm going to go up a couple needle sizes, I think. Maybe I'll do it on the 5 for the rest of the hat. I think that'll make a really great fabric. It'll still be snug, but it's going to be more of like a beanie style. So I plan to use up whatever Lopi I have for that project, and I have quite a bit. Like this was almost a full skein. Almost. It was more like half a skein, really, I guess. Probably 25 grams. If I could find that scale, I could tell you exactly what it was, but I can't. So I'm going to do that, and then with whatever is left, if there's enough to make just some like gloves or something for him, I'm going to try and do that. I don't know how soon that'll be done, but I am just kind of mindlessly working on this while I'm watching TV. I started re-watching Criminal Minds all over again. I think I've seen that series at least 50 times, but it's still one of my favorites. I don't know. So I'm re-watching that, which has been really fun. That's kind of just what it's like my nightly veg out, like if I'm not in the mood to read, if I really don't have like a movie that I want to watch, like we watched Avatar the other day, and that was so good. I hadn't seen that in so long, and I can't believe it's 10 years old. And next year they're coming out. Well, it's already done. It was supposed to be released earlier, but they're coming out with Avatar 2. So we watched that. So this has been my like veg out knitting. Like I don't want to pay attention to anything. I've already seen this. I don't need to pay attention to the TV show, but it's kind of like background noise. And work on this out. And then the socks are work socks, right? Like I've talked about that. I take them with me to work, and that's what I work on during my lunch break. And I'm so funny. Like I knit, I eat my lunch super fast at my desk, and then I spend whatever time I have left watching like a podcast or a part of a podcast at least, and working on my socks. So at first my coworkers used to think I was super weird for doing that, I think, because they would constantly pop in, what are you working on? And now it's just normal. So they more like just want to come see what color yarns I've picked. So it's kind of fun. Anyways, I'm rambling tonight. Okay, the last thing that I have, I got a haircut. Guys, I got a haircut too. That also happened. So good when you can get your haircut. And I've been seeing this girl for like 8 years. I don't know what I'm going to do if she ever quits. I don't think she's going to quit. Like, I think this is her career profession that she loves doing, and I foresee her doing it forever and ever. But, or if she moves, I'll cry. But anyways, that's another story. So the other thing that I've been working on, and I did find out I get to kind of show you. It comes out on Tuesday. I have to have this done by Tuesday. I don't have much more to go. I have 11 more rounds of color work to work through. And then I'll measure based on the pattern and see if it's time to start the decreases. But I did want to show you a little sneak peek of what you can look forward to. This is a hat pattern. It's by Tiff Nealon. It's the same, that coastal raglan pullover crop that I plan to cast on to next, which is like my next big thing. I'm going to cast that on this week. I want to cast that on this week. That's like a big plan. She designed that as well, but this is from her, and I showed you last week the yarn that I'm using. So I'm using this gray that I dyed up. I'm using this teal kind of color. It's more of a seafoam that I dyed up, and then this olivey, it's actually really super accurate, color from it's Malabrigo Rios. I actually had bought that for different pattern, the throwback from Andrea Mowry. I bought all the yarn for that, and then it took me so long to get to it that I realized afterwards I kind of didn't love the colors that I picked for me for a sweater. I loved them all together, but I didn't love them for me for a sweater. And so I'm just finding other uses for them, and so this is one of them. So let me show you where I'm at here. Okay, there we are. This is it so far. I think it's gonna be beautiful. I like how subtle it is, actually. I was worried that the colors like wouldn't pop enough, but I think it's just the right amount. So I don't know who's gonna get this hat yet. But so this guy has to be finished, ends woven in, blocked, Ravelry page created. Actually, I did that already, but like all the stuff uploaded, and an Instagram post on Tuesday. And I do this every time. Like, I procrastinated way too long, but I can tell you what, there has not been a single hiccup with this pattern so far. She is just an incredible designer. I don't know if this was tech edited before she asked for testers, or if she solely just utilizes testers just to make sure, not that the numbers necessarily work, but the measurements work, and just to have a variety. But there's like not been a single thing wrong with this pattern. So I am confident that you guys will all love knitting this if you choose to. I don't know that it has a name yet. So on Tuesday, I'll make a post, obviously, and I'll include the name. Oh, I should tell you, it's worsted weight yarn. It takes very little worsted weight yarn. So you could totally use up those scraps from some of those sweaters. I'm sure that you have some scraps laying around that you could use. So I gotta get that done. In fact, that's probably what I'm gonna work on the rest of the night for a little bit, or at least for a little bit. So that way I'm not a complete test knit failure. This week coming up, I have lots of fun things to look forward to. My son has... That was the cat. I think the cats are fighting. My son has his well child checkup. You know, COVID just like messed up all the scheduling for us. We're like so far behind. We're literally like a year behind in all of the stuff that we needed to get done. So that's super frustrating because now I feel like we're playing catch up and every week it's something new. But we'll get his taken care of and that'll make me really happy. And then my girlfriend and I are gonna plan to hang out next Sunday. Caitlin has a birthday party to go to this weekend, so that'll be super fun. They're gonna go miniature golfing, and I'm just so happy for her. Like, it's just 3 of the kiddos getting to do that, and yep, they have to be masked, but they haven't gone to anything in so long, so I'm just excited for them to have a little bit of normalcy creeping up again, and happy that our numbers are just going down. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Really don't have a whole lot of anything else to talk to you guys about. I did want to let you guys know that we did reach over 200 subscribers, so that's really exciting. I think they're at 233 or something like that. And also, the engagement in the comment section is amazing. Like, I'm having so much fun reading all of your comments. Keep them coming. Oh, and for those of you who want to read this book along with me, I'm so excited. The Molokai book. It is so good. Yes. So grab your copy. There is no like, it has to be read by this and this date. No, I don't know when I'm going to finish it. I'm trying to just read like a chapter a night, so it's probably going to take me a while. But I'm just trying to make good, healthy choices. Doing the things that I tell my kids to do, right? Read for 20 minutes every day. Not just kids have to read for 20 minutes every day, right? Like, read something that you enjoy for 20 minutes. Get away from the TV and the electronics. Disengage from social media for a little bit. And you're going to be fine. I promise. So I'm trying really hard to do that too, right? Take my own advice. Not watching TV until like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and then being so tired that I just want to go to bed, and I don't do anything else like healthy, right? I don't read, I don't journal or something like that. So really being mindful about that. I don't know. If anybody wants to join me in that, that would be really fun. I've decided to kind of do a 20-day challenge for myself. I know that sounds funny, but 20 days, and I just kind of have a couple goals that I'm going to set for myself, and I'm going to see if I can get through 20 days in a row and see if it happens. Like, it's just so good. And it's something so silly as reading for 20 minutes. So, yeah. Mental health, right? So, anyways, I'm gonna plan to do that. Let me know. Drop the comments below. Like, have you guys ever done something like that before? It's not really a resolution. It's just like a personal goal. Like, just to see if you can do it. I don't know. Like, it doesn't have to be for reading. I mean, it could be for art. Or maybe cooking dinner every night for 20 days in a row. Or not spending any money for 20 days in a row. Actually, that needs to be the next bucket list, right? Like, not spending money. Other than like groceries and gas, right? Like the necessities, the absolute, but not like no coffee, no fast food. Not picking up that cute pair of fuzzy socks or something that you saw at Target that you don't need in the dollar section. Target gets me. It gets me every single time. I think I'm going to do that. That'll be my next 20-day challenge. Okay, I'm rambling, you guys. Clearly it's late at night. I'm going to get off here. So thank you all for watching. If you made it to the end of this rambly mess, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you tune in again next week, where hopefully I have more content. Hopefully I'm filming earlier in the day. It won't be in the morning because I have plans already. But I'm hoping it's not going to be at 8 o'clock at night. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see or talk about or do. I would really love to know. Oh, I should tell you, I did do, gosh, and I didn't even tell you about it, but I did do a personal 20-day challenge for myself, and I loved my outcome. I did it in December, but I chose to not complain about anything for 20 days. And it's amazing the perspective that you gain from that. Like, choosing to not complain about something. That's another one on my list. I'm gonna do that again. So if you want to join me in these little mini 20-day challenges, I would love that. So today is day 1 for me of reading for 20 minutes. And I plan to do that over the next 20 days. So if that's something that you want to do and join along with me, I would love that. I think it'll just be really fun. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And if this gets loaded tonight, if not, if it ends up taking forever, which sometimes they do, sometimes, like one time it took like 7 hours. Like, my videos are not very long, so 7 hours just seems insane. So if this does not get loaded until tomorrow, I hope you have a wonderful week until we get to chat again. Yeah. All right, you guys. So good to talk with you again. Have a good night.